Stephen, Offaly have come a long way in the last while, but your own county Down, I mean, obviously this is a disastrous defeat, really, and the form is not good. After the game, the Offaly players were fist pumping. They were obviously delighted. And John Mahan said, the Offaly manager, we were hoping to get a break somewhere along the line. We're thrilled to bits. There was a manliness about the performance, a never say die attitude. The conviction was there. The winning mentality were there. So that's from his side. I mean, your own thoughts then on Down. How did they play? Is this a game they should be losing?
Look, myself and Benny went to the game. Calder and the two of us were standing watching it. It was startling to see how it was unfolding, but you could nearly just predict what was going to happen, Shane. You know, the longer the game went on and the more Offaly hung in, you could just sense it. You could just sense a nervousness about Down's play. One of the problems we have straight away is a goalkeeper. We've used 4 goalkeepers this year. Okay, 3 in the 5 National League games, which is a phenomenal statistic. I don't think there's any other county that's used 3 goalkeepers in 5 games. Bobo Kane was in, did reasonably well. Kilcoo goalkeeper. He's confident. He's assured. His kicking wasn't bad. But our biggest problem, Shane, is that we're a team of individuals. There doesn't seem to be any cohesion in our play. There's no joined up thinking up front. It's just individual moments of brilliance. Fintan mentioned Barry O'Hagan. You have to admire Barry's attitude on Saturday, you know, and his willingness to try and drive the thing on and go at the team and, you know, run at them and kick some great scores in the first half, and then in the second half came out and had been moved back to wing back, which was astonishing because he was probably our biggest scoring threat, and we were playing with a gale in the second half. We dropped off every single Offaly kick out in the second half, which, like, home to Offaly is just, it's hard to actually believe that we did that, you know. So there's a lot of things there tactically on Saturday night that I was so disappointed with. Like, Conor Laverty went in last week and took senior training all week. So we felt maybe, and I think by all accounts, he ruffled a few feathers when he was in there. So I think I was hoping that maybe the influence of Laverty's sessions might have given the thing a bit of a bounce and a bit of a lift, but it just didn't seem to be there, Shane. It just didn't seem to be there. And I don't know if the players are thinking, like, you know, James was thrown in there obviously at the last minute, and maybe the players are just mining the jersey for, you know, a period of time until they feel that there's maybe more of a permanent, you know, manager in place or whatever for a bit of longevity. Maybe they don't see James being there a long time. So I don't know. It's hard to know. But I don't think the problems are just Saturday night, Shane. And I won't accept listening to people in the crowd saying this is the level we're at. It shouldn't be the level we're at. It shouldn't be, you know, we're going to Division 3. That's the level we're at. But it's not the level we're at. You know, Down have good players, good club players. You know, Kilcoo are All-Ireland club champions, you know, so, like, it's not, Down club football is very, very healthy. You know, I've been involved in it for 12 years now. I watch Down club football, you know, very, very closely. I've been involved in it very closely. Down have very, very good footballers, but what we need is steering and direction from the bottom up. And I think, you know, we talked there about 7-8 years ago doing an old branch review and rebranding the development squads and more academies and all this nonsense and tick box. Look, talking is cheap, you know, and it's time to walk the walk, and we need a really, really vibrant young people coming through there. They're going to drive things on, you know, behind the scenes, whether that be coaching, administration, whatever. But we do need something, because if we don't, like, it's just gonna continue to get worse. And the Downs problems are deeper rooted, Shane, than just getting beat by Offaly on Saturday night. There's huge issues within the county. I don't know what the story is. There doesn't seem to be any apathy to the county board. The clubs are not very united, you know, and when it comes to the county setup, you know, club players would rather stay with their club than go to play for Down, and that's a big problem. That's a big problem, you know, and having the fact that we've used over 80 players in the last 5 seasons is absolutely frightening. It's frightening. Yeah. You look at the Wolves panel and Armagh's panel, and again, topic Kieran McGeeney, like we've said this before in the show, I don't think that Armagh club football is as strong as Down club football. I genuinely mean that. Like, it's not, like, but he has got a group of players who are dedicated, who want to play for Armagh. He's got rid of the show ponies, he's got rid of the bluffers, and he's got himself men who are willing to put their shoulder to the wheel for the good of the county, but there's longevity with them. They've been there 6 or 7 years on an S&C programme. Like, I would say Down are probably on their 4th or 5th S&C coach at this stage in the last 5 or 6 years. Do you know what I mean? You know, no cohesion. There's no cohesion. It's always what we're always looking for, Shane and Down. We're always looking for the quick fix. And that's a major issue. That's a major issue. And if you don't look for longevity, then you're going to get the quick fix. You might get it as a one-off bounce, but over the long-term process, you're just going to fall further and further into the abyss. And listen, if we go to 3, which we will do, we will go to 3. I don't know what Fintan, I don't know how bad Cork are. I haven't really seen much of this year, like, but it's astonishing what's going on in a county of that size as well. But if we go next week and lose to Cork, we're in Division 3, and I'll tell you this now, it's just not a matter of, oh, Division 3 will be back, will be okay. Division 3 will be tough too. You know, it'll be tough too. You'll have Cavan probably coming up alongside maybe Tipperary or whatever. You know, who knows who's going to come out of 4. You'll have a couple of teams dropping down 2. The teams in 3 will all fancy their chances as well. Like, it's, you know, there's no guarantee you get out of 3. And it happened to Armagh, and they stayed there for a long time, and it was a serious rebuilding job. And I think McGeeney probably doesn't get the credit he deserves for what he's done with Armagh. You know, and I'm envious of them. Like, you know, they're better rivals, and, you know, you look across the border, living in Newry here, half the city is Armagh, half the city's down, and it's hard to listen to Armagh fans right now. They're laughing and snarling at you, and, you know, and it's depressing, to be honest. Like, but you have to admire them. You have to hold your hands up and say, look, what they've done is they've put a high performance environment in. They've got a brilliant management team. Marty Clark told me on Sunday morning after doing commentary in the Monaghan game that he felt that, in the Kildare game, he felt Armagh one of the best coached teams in the country, and he's probably right. They're very, very well drilled and well coached, and they're maximising their resources, something that we aren't doing, you know.